We are now online. Alright guys, sorry for the delay in broadcast, we do apologise about that. We had a bit of a technical difficulty. Thank you ever so much for resolving that, Josh, really appreciate that. So, once again, Big Tom and the Vaping crew for the live Q&A, the fun hour, the madhouse, the dark side, whatever you want to call it. Do we need to give introductions again? I'll just give a shout out to Andy, Claire,
Hiya.
Guy, the Sub-Bombing King. We are now online. Alright guys, sorry for the delay in broadcast. We do apologise. Josh had a bit of a technical difficulty.
What's going on?
Thank you so much for Here we have Josh. So once again, a duplicate job for us. Thanks, Josh. So we introduce Josh. Then we've got Mags and Keith again on the couch chilling out tonight. And then we have myself, Big Tom, and the Mrs. Emmy. We have a lot of things to talk about tonight, guys. Last week was madness, it was fun, but it was a lot of us just, you know, talking about random things. So we have got a list of things to discuss tonight. Basically, first of all, what I would say is I want to see what everybody's vaping, what vape mail we had. So start that off with Andy. What have we had this week, or what we're waiting on, or what we're vaping on at the minute?
It's quite a slow week this week, to be fair. It's got a couple of bottles of juice from Aid, Everest.
I think Andy's muted. I think we can't hear him. Can anybody else hear Andy?
I can hear him.
I can't hear Andy either.
I can't hear Andy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So some of us can, some of us can't. Well, I've had a couple of bottles of juice from Aid, Everest, and
I think the gremlins are in the system.
I've also had a bottle of Uncle Bastards, Girl Scout Kisses. Very good stuff. If you find it, check it out. We've got a Facebook page. And to be honest, that's about me done. I haven't really had anything else. Who wants to carry it on? Who can hear me to carry it on?
Tom.
Thanks ever so much for that, Andy. I do apologise. Didn't hear a fucking word of that because my system obviously must be fucked up. So if you can do me a favour, reload so we can all hear you. And we'll go to Claire because I can hear Claire. What are you vaping tonight, Claire? What have you got coming and everything like that?
YouTube can hear him, Tom.
I've got my Stingray X tonight. I've put my Brass Quasar on because I can't be bothered to re-wick my black one. My juice I've got is a new one I found. The Juicy Vaporium's just got in a new American one. It's called Obsession Vapors. This one is Fortune, which is cinnamon apple Danish pastry, which is very yummy. Vape mail wise, today I got my vape crate.
Awesome. And Guy, what have you got going on?
The usual Manhattan, Doge, Ruthless Swamp Thing. Really.
Yeah, baby. And Josh?
Fuck. Quite a bit of juice this week. I've had some cloud chasing stuff off Clive from Vape Cloud, so big shout out to Clive. I've got some cappuccino smooth, that's quite nice. Some custard cake, which is fucking epic. Carrot crunch, multi-cream carrot crunch, yeah, that's quite nice. And sugar and jam donuts, that's awesome as well. And then I got some other random stuff. Ripe banana with a hint of apple citrus. Coconut lime and pineapple. I don't know what that is. Oh, eucalyptus cherry and chocolate, which is kind of weird, but it's nice. Vanilla custard and some cherry vape well. So.
Awesome, so you've had quite a bit of stuff this week.
Yeah.
Just out of interest, can you all hear me now?
Yay! Awesome, and Keith and Mags. Keith's a bit poorly today, guys, so take it easy with Keith. So Mama Mags is in control, as we always know she is. So what have we got this week then, Mama Mags, Papa Keith?
I've got my DNA 30 and I ran out of bongo, so I've got some more bongo from Aid. Thank you, Gary Aid. And I'm back on my Nemesis with my Pugfoot and my dancer. And I got my vape crate in today, which I will be going through the flavours to see what they're like.
Awesome. And Papa K?
I got my slug, my steel punk slug on.
which is awesome. Really good looking device. Really funky, actually.
Fucking awesome. It's very classy.
I'm using it all week. And I also received an onslaught today for somebody, but I'll sort that out at some point.
I'd like to say thank you very much. I do appreciate that. So let's get a long list of things we are going to discuss for this week. Let me pick out the first thing I've got on my list, which is, I think we touched on juice last week, but it's about a company called Suicide Bunny, which recently in the media, in the press, online, a lot of places are saying that it's got chemicals in. I'm not sure which chemical it is. I'm sure Josh may know what it is. I'm sure Josh done a little bit of research as well this week about this Suicide Bunny having some sort of, not poison as much, but a chemical that you shouldn't be vaping.
Diacetyl.
That's it, diacetyl, that's it. You shouldn't be vaping it, or you shouldn't be vaping a lot of it. I know that Pip from Suicide Bunny themselves did release a statement and a video this week saying that they did do individual testings regarding this. I just want to know what you guys feel about what we're vaping, and do you think you should know what we're vaping, and should it still be that 4 ingredients of what we know: propylene glycol, vegetable glycerine, nicotine, and food standard flavourings? Do you think what we should know what we're vaping should be on the bottle?
Yes,
it should.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I know you've got a little bit of research about that poison, Josh. Do you want to mention it? Because I know you did some research last week.
I've got the document up here now, and client sample ID. You alright, Andy?
Sorry.
He's dying in the corner.
Oh, we both got
I'm not sure whether this is a juice name. The OB. There's diacetyl and acetone. I know in the OB there was 5 parts per molecule in the OB of diacetyl, which is, it's not bad, but it still shouldn't be in there. It's mostly found, like I said last time, in custards, pineapples, caramels.
Is it the flavouring it comes from? It's the flavouring, right?
Yeah, it comes from the flavouring. Derailed has got 5 parts per molecule. Stuff like that. I mean, it's not going to kill you, but I think you're only allowed to have like 20. So 20 parts per minute.
You're only supposed to have certain amounts of it inside your juice, or inhaling certain amounts of it. I know that there has been a little bit of people kind of slandering Suicide Bunny for this. I know that Pip has released an initial statement on the site. I will put links up to it after we've done the recording, so you can actually view the test, because she's actually scanned in the pictures of the tests and shows you what she's actually signed from the pharmaceutical company. An individual pharmaceutical company that has done the tests didn't find as much as somebody else did in that juice, so it may have been maybe a one-off with the flavouring or something else like that, because I don't know if it's in-house mixed or it's mixed on a massive scale. But obviously that's the fresh news on the press at the minute of this diacetyl that shouldn't be in the juice and is being sent out like that.
160 juices were tested, and 72% of them had it all in them. So custards, caramels. It wasn't just Suicide Bunny. The Greek guy. I can't.
Yeah.
He's,
I've heard of the Greek guy.
160 of his liquids or whatever. 72% of them had in there. But the levels of Suicide Bunny had was 10 times higher than the fags.
So obviously diacetyl is put in cigarettes as well to go with obviously your nicotine and whatever. And if this is found in e-juice, and we don't obviously want it in the e-juice. But there's obviously 2 sides of the story, and there's 2 sides of the story currently being told. So you've got obviously the Suicide Bunny story being told about what they've got in the juices and their individual tests. And you've got these individual people that are sending juice off to be tested. So I would advise to go through like Reddit to look at it and see what's going on regarding obviously the juices and getting the test. If you want to go into Suicide Bunny itself, I know Pip, the owner, has done a video and everything like that. So my main issue is, what do you guys think of this? What is not good, is it? Let's be honest.
Well, I know my lungs looking like some popcorn machine, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's popcorn.
There's only 5 parts per molecule, so it's not going to harm you, but it shouldn't be.
Unless you're vaping it really all day and continuous.
No, that's not per vape. That's per bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's per 100ml bottle or something like that. So I can't see someone vaping.
Didn't they do it like per million?
Yeah,
it's like a millischool, like
parts per million, something like that, or molecule, I think it is. So something I can't remember.
We will get that information for after this. That's fine, because
someone now is giving me information as well. So
that's absolutely fine. So there is obviously that going through. So I'll just change the subject for a minute. Obviously that was a little bit negative to start with, but obviously there is pros and cons to it, so you do need to do your research on that as well. Just don't take ours off it. As I say, I will put the links down there. The question, the next one, what we're going to discuss, is about the Manhattan. I know that Josh, you got a Manhattan?
I've got one coming.
Josh got a Manhattan coming. Guy's got 2 or 3.
I've
He's got one. Mag's got one. Basically, the thing I want to, yeah, the thing I want to raise is, since Uncle Todd, Mark Todd, on his jollies at the minute, did Todd make the hype of the Manhattan more than it was? Because everybody seems to be talking about Manhattans, everybody's talking about the new release of the AmeriVape, the Apollo, and this new shake weight thing that looks like they've done. I personally think that Todd has created a monster with AmeriVapes. AmeriVapes have got a massive hype since that review. I don't know what you guys think, but that's me personally. I just wanted to mention that.
Hey, Guy.
Huh?
Have you seen what Dave put in the comments? Can you ask if the rumours are true regarding Guy? Is it true you fought the law and the law won?
Back to the AmeriVapes. So what do you think, Guy?
With Todd doing that review, and like them trying to sue him, I think that created so much like media coverage for him and them that it sort of not backfired but helped them along, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like they've got more media coverage than they would have got for the Manhattan. So therefore people are gonna go out and think, oh yeah, that's a good looking mod, let's buy it.
They won't be thinking about the next 2 that are coming out because they look absolutely shit. And I think AmeriVape's got way too big a heads over the Manhattan.
Well, the new ones, the M1 to 4.
The M1s and the 4s are fucking horrible. If you want to look at what this mod looks like, put in shake weights in Google, and this is what they look like. They look like shake weights, but the Apollo looks fucking badass. The Apollo looks nice.
What the M1 to 4 look like?
Bad publicity.
What?
Oh, the publicity, I just definitely think the publicity from Mark himself, you know, Mr. Todd, he created a massive hype around them, obviously with the FU Matten, and Twisted also making a mad thing to do that as well, you know. Twisted absolutely fucking went mad with AmeriVapes, but it's created a massive hype, because as we can see, nearly everybody in this room's got a fucking Manhattan.
Yeah.
You go on, Tom.
A purple one.
Apart from me and Emmy, guy. But I personally do think he created a massive hype with AmeriVapes, and AmeriVapes do have now going around the US of A. I know they've been to Vegas quite a few times, and they're doing cloud competitions and going around and giving out Manhattans, and people are purchasing Manhattans. And Manhattans aren't cheap, let's be honest, they're not cheap.
£108 for the couple.
Yeah, they're not cheap, but I do believe that Todd has made a massive hype for Amera vapes.
They are a good mod. I mean, I've got the original, and they hit hard. But what's the next best thing going to be? What's the next harder hitting mod than that? You know what I mean? It is more of a like a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like the reviews that Todd's done about it, Amerivape trying to sue him, it sort of drew me into it, thinking, well, yeah, it's obviously a good thing. Let's see whether it is actually a pipe bomb in your hand, or whether it isn't. And they look cool as fuck.
Yeah, they are cool. Especially these replicas that are coming out, like the white versions, the black versions. They do the colour ones, but obviously they are still the same coming out as replica. If you noticed, I didn't use the word clone, replica.
Oh, I did see a nice replica FU Hatton or Matten or whatever they're called. It was a copper wrapped in carbon fibre. It was sexy as shit.
I think Twisted's got one of them as well.
I see. I've seen it on the page. Awesomely looking good.
Have you seen those white? What was it, Sir Lancelot on white plume veil?
Yeah.
Fucking well, nice.
Yeah, coming out with some really nice mods at the minute, especially replicas and stuff. So getting on from the Amera vapes, pros and cons to vaping. What are the pros and cons to vaping? Let's start with that with Mags. What do you think's the pros and what are the cons to vaping?
Personally, the pro for me is, thank you, Tom, by the way, put me in the spot. It's got me off the stick. And it's also it's a conversation piece when you're out. It's amazing how many people this week alone have actually come up and sort of spoke to me because I'm holding my mod, you know, on the watch, whatever it is, and you're sort of telling them all about it. So it's getting them off the stinkers as well. You know, it's encouraging people to go from cigarettes. The cons is it's costing Papa K a fortune. Every time I see one, I have to get a purple one. You see. But yeah, no, I mean, I like it. I prefer it to smoking, you know. But I like the different flavours as well. So you know, you don't have to stick with the same stuff. And also, it's a better community.
It is, because if it wasn't a community around cigarettes, there's a massive community around e-cigarettes. Claire, have you got any cons on vaping? Rather than pros, what are the cons to vaping?
A little story, one of the cons. When I first started vaping, I went out into a pub beer garden to have a vape, and did have a smoker did come up and have a go at me and said, I don't know why you're doing that, it's the same as smoke, you might as well just smoke. That's one of the cons. There are a few cynical people that will come up and have a go at you occasionally.
Yeah. And that's why they make mods weighty.
Have you felt the Manhattan? Oh. Okay.
But is that down to Is that down to education to somebody that is a smoker?
It is down
ignorance.
to. I think sometimes there isn't enough. It's ignorance, a lot of it.
The press has got, the media's got a lot to do with ignorance as well.
They say ignorance is bliss, but not in this case.
Yeah, the media does have a lot to do with it.
One other con of it is somebody likes blowing rather large clouds. If I disappear behind a cloud, you know why.
No, I can agree with that. You know, there is certain circumstances where you do go into a pub or you go into somewhere and you can vape. But is it down to, you know, being a vapor myself, I would never go into a restaurant and vape without asking, especially when people are eating in the circumstances of, you wouldn't go in and light a fag when someone was eating, so you wouldn't vape around somebody that was eating. and that's for me personally. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah.
But I'd never like
say.
cloud chasing, especially cloud chasing where some people are eating and stuff like that. You know, it's a matter of respect, but it's also a matter of ignorance. People will literally blow fucking clouds in somewhere they've not been told to blow clouds.
Yes, we know, don't we, Andy?
When was that? Oh.
Yes.
Andy told not to blow clouds. When did you get in trouble, Andy?
When I was playing blackjack. Everybody around the table was completely fucking shocked.
That's not that one horrible woman. Just kept giving
We're asked to, Andy's wife and I, Kaz, were asked to leave a table because a certain member of the admin, Mr. Redbeard, decided to blow a rather large cloud. So we were sort of moved out of the restaurant area into the sitting area.
That was the restaurant, though.
Yeah, there was nobody in there. It was like 12 o'clock at night. Who's going to be? No, it was like 1 in the morning. Who's going to be eating at 1 in the morning? Who eats a main meal at 1 in the morning? Unless you've been on a night shift. You don't get your family out at 1 in the morning. Let's go for dinner. Hey ho.
Yeah. Another con is clutter. Bottles of juice everywhere.
Yeah.
And dropping cancel on the floor, and then you stick one. Sticks in your foot.
That's another good use for the Manhattan. You just run round your carpet with the magnets. It just picks every little bit up for you.
Oh, with the cancel thing, I did manage to cut one when I was doing coils, and it fell in my work shoe, and I did manage to walk all the way around work for a whole day with a bit of cancel stuck in my foot, and I didn't realise till I got home that there was the cancel stuck in my foot, and I was in agony.
Ouch.
I remember Sunday and hangouts sitting on a bit of cancel, Tom.
You know, you get that. There's always going to be pros and cons to vaping, you know, especially people these days. There is going to be people saying certain things. Going off pros and cons and going into a BBC Health article that has recently just been released. The BBC did release an article saying that the Health Committee want to ban vaping in public places and in bars. There is a few places, like in London, they have like bars where you can drink alcohol and vape. So basically, it's not a pub; it's basically a vaping bar. So it's a license. It's like a licensed lounge or a licensed vape shop, and they want to ban it because it's encouraging people to carry on smoking and stuff in bars and pubs and stuff. So the health organisation, the BBC, did obviously release an article saying that. So I don't know what you guys think about not being able to vape outside or in public places.
That since it started, Wales have been trying to ban it for the past 5-6 months now. But Wales have been trying to ban it. But I mean, the thing is, it's not doing that much. If you've got your own vape shop, your own vape bar, you should be allowed to vape in it. You know, if it is a pub, like Joe Blogg's pub, then yes, I can understand it. But if it's actually set out as a vape pub or a vape venue, then you should be allowed to vape in there.
Yeah, agreed. You know, there should be circumstances where you should be able to vape where you want, but to actually fully ban it in bars and stuff like that is, you know, obviously like places like Witherspoons don't allow you to vape in Witherspoons because obviously they are a chain, they are, you know, a franchise, and they don't let vaping in any of their pubs. But I've been into plenty of pubs where they allow vaping. I was having a discussion with Emmy's dad earlier, and we was discussing the fact that the reason pubs are going down the drain is because they ban smoking. The reason you don't see pubs anymore in the limelight as they used to is because people can't smoke in them. And if you're going to ban vaping, it's going to make it even worse. But for me personally, the reason pubs and working men clubs are all closing down and being shut down is because of not being able to smoke or vape in them. And that's a massive thing for me, you know. We all like to go out and have a drink. We all like to have a smoke. you know, that was the whole thing about it, a smoky, smelly pub. Yeah, these pubs are a lot nicer, they smell a lot nicer, they don't smell like dirty fags. But even banning vaping when it's allowed in there is, you know, a bit of an issue for me personally.
Some people love that smell, don't they? Old smoky pubs and...
Yeah.
I know my granddad did, because it's just... It's like an aroma, isn't it? It's just
yeah, it's what what all clubs and not all pubs were. It was smoky, you know. In pubs now, when I've gone into it, all you can smell his fucking armpit fucking smell. Rather than smoke. You know, I'd rather smell a fag than someone's dirty BO, you know, that's the thing for me. So to ban vaping in pubs as well and to ban it in anywhere else is a bit of an issue for me.
See,
how about you?
Public place thing, in the summer we went to a certain theme park with the initials AT. Everyone can guess which one that is. On the outside it says no smoking, only in designated areas, including electronic cigarettes. Now that's an outdoor venue, and I think that's just a bit weird and OTT.
Because of the kids and all that, isn't it? There's a lot of kids in theme parks and...
Yeah, but that's not that. But then that goes down the route of saying you know, you're advocating for, it's the whole thing where you're saying vaping because you get a taste. That's not fucking dirty fag. Like you want you start kids to vape. You know, at the end of the day, you don't see fucking. There's 4 people in here with kids. You don't see them stuffing vape down the kid's throat. You know, trying to advocate them to start smoking because they're vaping. You know, it's the whole down of the pros and cons to it. You know, they're trying to say that vaping is advocating kids to smoke. I'm sorry, but I know for a fact if a kid picks up a vape, he definitely ain't picking up a fag because fags are disgusting. And that's the thing for me. You know, they're saying all these flavours, you can grab these flavours, and this is what kids are wanting. But then it comes down to the people who's selling them that shit. You know, it should be over 18s. That's my regulating. That's how I want it to be regulated, over 18s all day long. But I can't see how they can say vaping is advocating a kid to go buy cigarettes.
See, and then a lot of pubs' arguments is that if they allow people to vape in the pub, it's going to encourage people to smoke in the pub. But that looks different than a cigarette. So how, you know, it's a tenfold thing.
Yeah. They're saying because obviously, you know, it's all down to visuals as well, and if they're saying that if you can see visually people are vaping,
yeah,
that's, you know, we've got to be realistic on both ends. Yes, they are right in saying that. Yes, sometimes it does stimulate the actual look of smoking, but that doesn't look like a cigarette to me. So to look at me close up to see this, you ain't seeing me smoking. But to see somebody from the back who's blowing clouds or blowing vapour, does look like smoke. So there is, you know, ways and means. I do totally understand what people are saying regarding, you know, is it vapour, is it smoke? You know, it's down to the individual how their thoughts on it.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I mean, I'll give an example. I was using my Watch in town, and somebody asked me actually if I was drinking out of it, if I had whiskey or something in it, because they thought it was a drinks container. You know what I mean? So how can you say that's a smoking container? You know, you've got to, the kids, if you educate the kids, then the kids are not going to do it. It's as simple as that. You know, it's up to people to educate the kids as well, but say, well, no, it's not a cigarette, it's, you know, it's vapour.
But it's the same as us. We was all smokers, and I'm sure everybody in here smoked as a young one. I know for a fact I waited outside the shop when I was a young child, when I was in high school, waiting for somebody to go in the shop to buy me a pack of cigs, or go in the shop myself and buy a pack of cigs. You know, I didn't want to smoke because somebody else in the family was smoking. We all smoked because we thought it was cool, and we wanted to get into cigs, and if people wanted to have a fag, I want to be one of the cool kids, and that was what it was for me. But that wasn't the way that I was advocating as an adult to do it.
Yeah.
It was the thing, innit? A shufty behind the bike sheds and a quick fag. That's what everyone used to do at dinner time. It was the in thing when we were younger.
Back in the day.
But
Yeah,
it probably still is like that. But the thing is, you know, are we advocating kids to vape? Are we advocating kids to smoke? No, because at the end of the day, we have our own personal preference, and even as a child, you still have your own mind thoughts, and especially as a teenager, to think, do I want to smoke? Do I not want to smoke? You know, you can't always put the blame on the person that's got the cigarettes.
Yeah, when you bought cigarettes as a kid, right? A cigarette fitted in your pocket. You could hide a packet in your bag or your pocket. How are you going to? How are kids possibly going to hide that in their pockets at school? You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's better. I think it's better for the kids to see something like that, and they know that it's like having cigarettes. You know, teachers they're not going to smoke at school. I mean, any kids, from what I've heard from the media, kids that have been caught with vaping, it's because the machine's been too big for them to hide.
Exactly, but it's
the kids that have got cigarettes hidden.
But then do we put the blame on the parents? Do we put the blame on the individual? You know, these kids that are getting caught around about 14, 15 years of old, you know, they're soon to finish school, they're soon to go into higher education. You know, we can't teach them because they're not supposed to be doing it at that age, but is it down to them as individuals to think, don't do that, or do that? You're always going to get kids that are going to do it regardless because they think it's the cool thing or the in thing.
The kids are going to do it. The kids are going to do it no matter what the parents say or what anything else. I don't say, because if they want to try it, they'll try it. But to be honest, there's just no way that smoking in a vape bar or that is going to, because kids aren't allowed in vape bars, are they? A retailer that does the vaping, like your vape shops, your vape cafes and that, under 18s are not allowed in it.
Yeah, that's down to the vendor though, isn't it? That's down to the store themselves, because obviously there's no regulation on age as of yet, but as a reputable vendor or a reputable somebody who's into the vaping should only simply be speaking to somebody of the 18 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to remember that. But we also have to remember that cigarettes at our age were available at 16, not 18. You know, they have recently, over the last few years, have raised up the years that you can actually start smoking at. So to smoke, you have to be 18. Yeah. When I was younger, it was 16, so I could have had that choice at 16. So
I think one of the cons of being allowed to smoke, when I was a smoker and I was outside smoking, I watched kids, when people were throwing, instead of stubbing the cigarettes out, they were throwing them away. And there was kids coming up and picking them up. You know, so if you're outside smoking, the kids are going to get to it, whether they're buying it or not.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'd rather see a kid vaping than smoking. I don't condone vaping under 18, but I'd rather much see a vape pen in a kid than a cigarette because of the chemical. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to see a kid vaping. I'd rather see that than a fucking cigarette in their hand. So that's just my perspective on it.
Have you got any questions?
But there's no questions. So I'll go to the next thing. I'm going to mention it. Just a quick mention. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it great advertisement? Totally Wicked, one of the biggest companies in the world for e-cigarettes. An e-cigarette recently has been known that it is obviously a business that is worth 1.9 billion. That's how much the e-cigarette industry is currently worth, is 1.9 billion. Totally Wicked are currently sponsoring a rugby team, which is obviously sport. It's like you've got Cigalikes, a company who does F1. Do you think it's a good thing for vaping companies to be promoting on that type of scale with that type of industry?
Well, they did it with the Formula 1 back in the day, didn't they? Marlboro sponsored Ferrari.
Yeah, John Players used to do snooker.
Yeah, John Player had their own F1 team.
To be honest, I'd rather see Totally Wicked on a Man U shirt than Chevrolet. Who'd buy a Chevrolet?
Who knows?
But on that, because it obviously rugby league is not the biggest sport in the UK. It's the second biggest sport in the UK, past football. So you've got rugby league, then rugby union. So rugby league is a big sport in the UK. Is it a good thing to have them sponsoring? I know what we're saying about obviously people having their own teams regarding F1 and stuff like that. But sport-wise, is it just an advertisement ploy, or is it something that's advocating?
It could be sponsored by
That's a good thing.
Everything's an advertising ploy nowadays. In every walk of life, you have something shoved in your face.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if they're going to pump money into the team and pay the team to have their name on the shirt, it's not hurting anybody. So I mean, it's bringing more revenue to the club. They can get better and they can be top of the league. So it's win-win for everybody, really. It's not like go out and buy e-cigs on their shirts. Do you know what I mean? It's just the name of the people in the stadium probably don't know what Totally Wicked is because they've never heard of it. So do you know what I mean? For them, it's just we've bought one of the top players in the league. Yeah, come on, let's get it down. Do you know what I mean?
That's yeah, definitely.
And don't forget, you have also had on the football sanctions around the stadiums, there has been in the past, recently, Blue, the cigar light, the one that do Sky Cigs, they've had advertising splashing on football stadiums for quite a while as well.
Some Premier football matches with the blue e-cigar lights.
Yeah, didn't they give them out at the game?
Yeah, we give them out.
Man United's been sponsored by Demon Aegis.
Hang on, just to add on to that one, where do you think Rooney got his hair from on his head?
And Andy, make the joke.
The pubes. The pubes.
Oh no!
Stop advertising them.
So, it's advertisement at the end of the day for the company because they are a massive company. But for me personally, it being a sport, I know it's advertisement, but is it the kind of correct sponsors to be that big? I know you've got like Man United have also like sponsored by Pucker Pies and stuff like that, but.
Well, Rooney's been taking that to the next level, hasn't he, really? He's got a lifetime membership card.
I don't know. I want his receding hairline.
Josh, you can't blame Pucker Pies for your receding hairline.
Pucker Pie.
So, did you know that's one of the things? I'm gonna go. Go ahead, sorry, Max.
I suppose, really.
Yeah, because you're advertising it to a broader scale, which is good, but you're also, advertising it to a sporting background. As Andy said, people don't know who they are, so they're not really going to pay that much attention. But that, advertising does kind of stick in your mind, and you'll go home and you'll look at it and think, so what was that? Totally wicked. So look it up.
True say, quite a lot of people who go to the ground and watch the team quite possibly smoke. Probably like 90% of the stadium. No, let's just say 50-50 for instance, because we don't know the actual numbers. 50% of that stadium who supports the team, or ever supports the team, smokes. They go see Totally Wicked, they think, what's that? They go back, look at it, it's a way to get off fags. Then that's more people vaping then, isn't it? So in a way, it could be looked at bad and good, really.
Yeah, definitely two angles to it. I'm going to come to a discussion. This is not being mentioned before we went live or anything like this. I said I would have mentioned it before. I will put a link to this article because I have favoured it, and it is around Totally Wicked. Totally Wicked released a blog. Is it the 25th of today?
That's not fire.
Well done, Andy.
Andy sent it off again.
Setting off his fire alarm. Well done, son. So it is around Totally Wicked. It is a blog that I read today from Totally Wicked. It was released today. basically the blog was pictures of 3 girls. The pictures of the 3 girls. One was in a police outfit. One was in I think she was in a school uniform, and one was dressed as a doctor or something like that. And in this poster, it stated at the top, it said, "Girls who have dreams don't smoke or vape." And the pictures were released. I will obviously link this, but Totally Wicked did release this in a blog, and it was basically advocating that any female, it wasn't gender types, it wasn't for males, it was just significantly aimed at females, and it basically said that if you want to get anywhere in life, you don't smoke and you don't vape. And that's what the image was protesting to females, especially young girls. So I want to know how you feel about that article.
Oh,
I will link the article. I'll get the article because I have saved it. But it's images of young females with dreams who shouldn't vape or who shouldn't smoke.
Well,
how do you feel about that advertising ploy?
They should do another one like saying, "Smoke crack, you will get further in life."
Well,
do you know what I mean? It's just completely, absolutely stupid.
I was a millionaire before I started vaping. So, I'm not all my money's just gone.
You also had shares in Jerry Curl as well, but they seem
Hey!
Right.
Complete rubbish.
You had shares in ISIS, you what?
So basically what this article says, it says, "You filthy vapors, smokers, you will amount to nothing." That's what the article says.
So movie stars amount to nothing even though they vape.
So
Johnny Depp with an e-cigarette on. Do you know what I mean? There's been numerous photos of other superstars with e-cigarettes on, and they've amounted to nothing? Right, okay.
I don't understand that then. If they're promoting their company, why are they doing that? Yeah.
It's quite preposterous, really.
That's what it says. As a smoker vapor and having thoroughly absorbed these images, you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are worthless, will amount to nothing, and no one will take you seriously. Good, glad we have cleared that up.
And that
Do
was
you know
on
what I think?
records. But isn't that
This is not. No, Totally Wicked put it up as they've obviously found that information out from a blog or a vlog, but they've basically vlogged the picture. They've blogged about the article itself.
I don't want to cause any mass clusterfuck on this, but that's got to be behind religion. Because at the end of the day, they have so much of a broad spectrum. Look at the post the other day. If you vape, you will go to hell.
Allah, snack bar. Sorry.
So, I mean, that's basically saying to girls exactly the same as what these pinned models are saying, that, you know, that if you've got curves and that, then you're useless. You know, you're ugly because you've got a bit of curve. I mean, that is out of order, personally. I mean, I'm not a 15-year-old. I mean,
well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to present myself to everybody on this, and I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show the article that I picked up. So if you can all see me, I'm presenting myself on here. I'll share my screen and I will show you the article that I have picked up. And I will just grab this article.
11 o'clock.
Just let you know it's 11 o'clock. So this is the article, and it's on the Totally Wicked e-liquid site. And as you load it, Totally Wicked e-liquid blog, you filthy vapors, smokers, you'll amount to nothing. And here are the images. Girls with dreams don't smoke, they don't vape. And these are young girls' images with schools. So one's got a school bag, one's got a first aid bag, and one has a hat on, saluting with the police hat on. And basically, it's basically saying that you will amount to nothing, you will be nothing in life if you smoke or you vape.
Sorry, but look at Keith. He works in the medical industry and he vapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a supervisor of a housekeeping department.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I know a lot of nurses and doctors that had smoked and have gone into vaping because it's healthier, you know. And many doctors, like that's just, I think that's terrible. As far as I'm concerned, that's a very, very vulnerable, very vulnerable people, because girls are very self-concerned about themselves. They're always about their image and things. And I think it's just hitting, and it's been horrible to. It shouldn't be put up. It shouldn't be allowed to be out there because girls are susceptible to anything.
Is there an actual link to who published that?
I will find who has published.
You cannot order a hit out.
No, I'm not on about that, but that's like saying to a kid of that age, you've got low self-esteem, you've got daddy issues, that your industry's a stripper. Do you know what I mean? It's a load of bullshit.
But yeah.
See, that's the thing, guys. There's enough for teenage girls and teenage boys to be self-conscious about without throwing something else into the mix to make them even more self-conscious than they already are.
At the end of the day, if you're a dumb fuck, you ain't going to be a brain scientist. You ain't going to work for NASA. But do you know what I mean? If you apply yourself, you can be anything you want to be, really, can't you? Do you know what I mean? Whether you smoke, vape, smoke drugs, do whatever, drink. Do you know what I mean? It's all subjective.
I think it shouldn't be. It should not be allowed, because it's encouraging kids to have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Could be classed as propaganda in a way as well.
Yeah.
Big pimping.
Look at the guy. He's a chef. Top Mac Daddy D's.
He pretty much runs a kitchen.
Yeah.
He pretty much runs McDonald's kitchen, and he
He's the lion's roar. He's the dog's bollocks. He's the fucking main man in a fucking KFC warehouse.
Mate, I'm not the shit out of a fucking big toaster. So everyone know my record is 2.4 seconds, big toaster, fully made.
Boom!
Did you just inhale it?
Just propaganda.
But the reason I wanted to mention that and obviously not discuss it, the reason I obviously wanted to discuss it and bring it up without telling you guys is because of how ridiculous the article is. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And for somebody to read that as a child, I'm not sure how I would have took it as a young girl.
Well, you became Big Tom 6 years ago.
Hold the fuck on, Tom. You had a vagina.
I didn't have a vagina.
Thomas, right, come on guys. You got fucking
Just to let you know, Josh, I just want to clear this up for you, Josh. I am a lesbian in a man's body.
I think we all are, Tom.
Not gay if you give him.
So the reason I obviously wanted to mention that article is because it's basically ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's aimed at a stupid audience that is not going to pay whatsoever attention to it, and it just doesn't mean anything whatsoever. That's the reason I wanted to mention it. Obviously, I will post a link up for it so you can have a look at it. I haven't found obviously the main person that has put it up, but it is a really good read. So if you do want to give it a read, I will put the link up. But going on to other things before we do sign off, there is a few other things I do want to mention as well. First of all, I just want to bring up, this is just moving it slightly on, DIY mods and DIY mixing. Is it the way forward? Is it the way forward for the higher end vapor?
Yeah.
I think as long as you know what you're doing.
I'd rather Green says, don't blow yourself up.
Well, to be honest, I think you buy some high-end juice and try and replicate that high-end juice yourself. You're never going to get there. You're not going to find the exact.
I would rather stick with a vendor.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what the flavour profile's going to be. You know it's not going to change. Do you know what I mean? You make up a batch, it might get somewhere near, or it might be a complete fail.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's the way forward.
But modding also. What about DIY modding? You're getting a lot of people that are building their own DNA 30s, building their own SX330 chips.
If you can do it safely and follow the instructions and create it so you're not going to endanger yourself, then crack on, do you know what I mean? It's the way forward. I mean, people are selling box mods for like between 100 and 300 quid and upwards. If you can do that yourself, obviously, it's a lot cheaper to do it yourself.
No, it's not. Whoa.
No, not if you blow it up, it's not.
Well, no, if you have to go like round 2 with it. But
Yeah, if you don't have to blow up like half a K.
Then, do you know what I mean? It's the way forward. If I could build one, I'd build one myself, but I'm not very good at soldering. And I have pig trotters for hands. Just to hold the soldering iron.
Just knuckles, that's all you've got.
And slab hands.
Huh?
Slab hands.
Who?
I'm just gonna release this. I'm gonna release this information. Emmy's just pulled the tooth out.
What?
You just what?
Pulled the tooth out with pliers.
Hang the fuck on. What the fuck have you two been doing?
Nothing, mate. Make you love.
The viewers shot up then as soon as you said she pulled a tooth out with pliers. I think people want to see the evidence.
Come on, show us your tooth, Amy.
It's in bedroom. It's only a little one.
Put it under your pillow.
She ain't getting a quid off me.
It's a fiver now, Tom.
We should all post the 50 pence.
Yeah, so breaking away from that as well, I'm going to put somebody on spot. I'm also going to put him on full screen. He knows I'm going to ask him this question because he is the main man. So Guy is on full screen, and the subject we are going to ask, because we all know, if you know Guy, or if you spoke to Guy, or you've seen Guy vape, he vapes low ohms. I know Andy does, but not on such an extreme level as Guy. So Guy, sub-ohming and being safe. Tell us about sub-ohming and being safe. How can you be safe sub-ohming, and how can you know you're being safe when you're sub-ohming? Just to let you know, this is your spotlight, this is your limelight. You know more than all of us. So here you go.
The best batteries you can get, just get 35 amps. Just know the limits of what you use. Know the limits of the wire that you're using. Know the limits of, you know, your mod, what you're using. Whether it's getting extremely hot or whether there's smoke pouring out of it. Like that guy that did the video the other week, he stacked batteries, and you know it's common. It's basic electronics. In theory, what we're using. You know, it's not nothing complicated unless you go for the box mods, which you're not really going to blow up. The only thing that you blow is the element chip. That's it. But if you're doing mechanicals like that, you'll know because it'll get ridiculously hot if you're going too far with the battery. So just don't go too far. Just make sure you know your limits. And
well, if we was to say there's somebody watching who wants to sub-ohm but doesn't know how to sub-ohm safely, what would you say was the best way to sub-ohm safely?
Start off small. If you're going to go low ohms, do it in increments. So go to mechanical, say go to 0.35 ohms, which is what the battery is set to take. The battery can take that safely. If you're using a VTC4, VTC5, like the green ones, or the new ones that Samsung have brought out, the Smurf ones that they're calling them, the light blue ones, you're going to be safe with those because they've set out charts, which we'll put up in the link later, of what the ampage can take and how many amps that you're pulling off this single battery. That's how you'll be safe. And also, to be even safer, use good quality liquid. Don't vape any market cheap shit.
That's it.
He's got a sale on.
And like, there's a link that's just been put up, like the £1 e-liquid store. Don't buy it off there. You know for a fact that it's just gonna be rat poison and whatever else.
Pubes.
Demon juice. Stop putting pubes in it.
Spell fucking shit properly because I can't understand the fucking thing.
What?
Have you seen the website?
What are we talking about now? Are we gonna slag
Let's
the
not
person?
go for the slander.
Hold on. Are we gonna slander them or are we gonna give them advice?
Advice.
Let's give them advice.
Spell check
And
it if you're
let's not name this website. People will know this website.
If I was
It might be the best thing in the world, but you need good
People
presentation.
know the website. People will know what they've seen. There is obviously we can't obviously correct the person's grammar, but the juice that has gone out obviously has had bad press.
Right, let me share my screen real quick. I've blocked stuff so you won't be able to see any.
But we can't obviously teach grammar, mate.
No,
So
but
we
spell
can't
check.
slander them for the juice they have released.
And while I was on about the safe subarming and good quality wire, pick up some Royal. That's what I use.
I want to get some.
Available.
Hot Vaping, did you get that from?
Huh?
Did you get that from Red Hot Vaping?
I got that from that shop there.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll plug Red Hot Vaping again. Oh, and some will release the next month's sponsors on the group. Then, if we're going to talk about Red Hot Vaping, Red Hot Vaping will be sponsoring Big Tom and the Vaping Crew for the final time this year. We are having no more sponsors. This is a news for the crew. After Red Hot Vaping do October, we are having no more sponsors for the year. That is it for the year. We have done quite a lot of giveaways this year. These last couple of months we've been doing it. 6 months, I believe we're into 5-6 months, and we've done giveaways. And I'd like to say Red Hot Vaping, because they are obviously a fan favourite of the crew. They will be the last person for the year to do the sponsors. So if you want to go check out Red Hot Vaping, you can also do that. Just to mention also as well, Kerry and Mike Cooper, who do own Red Hot Vaping, also do have funding for Guy to go and get his Red Hot Vaping tattoo. So Kerry and Mike are watching tonight. Thank you ever so much, guys, for being next month's sponsors. Guy will be down sometime this week to get his tattoo money, and he will get a tattoo.
Smelly beaver on the road to fucking tattoos.
Yeah, we want a video of you actually getting the tattoo.
Yeah.
I'll take a video of my new Samsung camera NX1000.
Dude, with that fish looks fucking. Talking about tattoos, I've just watched the slow-mo HD version of tattoos. Like someone getting a tattoo and there's like 40 little pins and they just keep stabbing you. It's fucking mad.
There are 40 pins in one gun.
Yeah.
Oh, you sure you're watching like a Japanese torture film or something?
No, yeah, no, they're really small fucking pins.
It's just one needle going up and down.
No, it's
Unless they're shading, and then it's like 4 or 5.
It's not. It's loads.
It's 6.
Something like that. If there was fucking.
What we're talking about? Tattooing?
Yeah.
Anyway, Guy, where can we get these new batteries that you were referring to, the Smurfs?
I've seen them on another group. I think they're coming at P Vapor.
All right.
I think, I'm not too sure. But I have seen them on another group. But the Samsung 25R, they're called.
What? That's just ruthless.
Josh, what are you doing?
I'm showing them the pins.
Yeah, but ain't this like a hangout for stuff about vaping, not tattooing?
You've just been speaking about. Never mind. Ignore me.
We genuinely do, Josh.
Hey.
Well, I've got a couple more things to go before we do sign off. It's not been as crazy as it was last week. It has been quite chilled, and we did have things to discuss, which has been pretty good. So, Big Tom and the Vaping Crew. Next meet.
Wales.
Next meet.
Birmingham.
It's always in Birmingham.
We are going to, I believe, I would like, don't know how the crew feel about this, but I would like to take Big Tom and the Vaping Crew on tour. I would like to go to different places and different communities to show off the crew and to show what good we are to the community. So we have done Birmingham twice, maybe 3 times already, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We will obviously do Birmingham because it is one of the biggest spots in the UK for vaping. Big shout out to the Birmingham community and Midlands community, great community for vaping. But we are thinking of doing activities as a crew. So if you would like to see Big Tom and the Vaping Crew at your local meet, get in contact. BigTomTVC@gmail.com. Email me. Tell me what you want us in your area, and we will organise meets in your area. Because we would like to go through the UK. We have done Birmingham. We have done Leeds with my and Emmy's engagement party. We did make that into a mini vape meet. So where would we like to go next? Yes, we will be going to Wales. I would love to go to Wales. We are going to Wales. Everybody get your suitcases packed. We are going camping in Wales. We're going to have fires. We're going to have vaping. We're going to have everything. So that's the thing. That's why I want to do it.
Everyone's going to camping and charge up.
Why don't we have...
Because Max and Keith have got a field at the side of the house.
Camping the backyard.
Just to add on to the go to people's communities and do activities, email in your community and what activity you've got in your area that you want to see us do.
Yeah.
No.
BigTomTVC@gmail.com.
I still say we go jousting.
Do everything.
We will.
We would like to do a little mini tour.
A BTVC suit of armour. With a
So
giant.
if there's any blacksmiths that want to make us all suits of armour, get them along.
Need plenty of metal for me. So just get them sheets going, boys.
Well, I've got the right states.
Yes.
I just got horses.
How do you spell horses?
I've got horses.
Mag's got horses.
Happy days.
People from Nottingham can get your requests in, because me and Andy would be very happy with Nottingham.
Oh, what's it?
I'll never feel unless you want to go fucking bike thieving for a month. Fuck off.
What is everybody's favourite juice at the moment?
Bongo.
Ooh.
Max,
I've got
you got
two.
bongo as well.
Eh?
You got bongo as well.
I've got 2 bottles, and I've got my bongo and my dancer.
Nice. I've just finished my dance. Lovely.
What's your favourite juice at the moment?
And Keith says double fine camera, double P.
My favourite juice at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I'm currently vaping on Green Dog Fog, Limey Bastard, due to Papa K himself getting me addicted. But I've also been going through some of the Ruthless Grape Drunk. I don't really have an all-day vape anymore. It used to be Red Astaire, but I like to try different fruity flavours. But I don't really have an all-day vape at the minute. So yeah, if Red Hot Vaping come out with a juice, you know who we are, guys. Winky winky nudge nudge.
So that shit out. Sort it out. Andy.
We should all get the Doge and the competition top caps on the down low price.
No. Andy, what's your all-day juice then? Your all-day vape?
Right. Big up Alex Wright and his team of juice creators. If you get, just, everyone needs to try this juice. Uncle Bastard's Girl Scout Kisses. It's a warm banoffee custard and cookies with a sweet peppermint inhale. This is the shiznit. This is cloud chasing juice. It is super thick, and the taste is undescribable. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the best juices I've ever tried. And for a tenner posted for 30 mils, you can't go wrong at that. It's got to be done. And Herbal Tides, Brooklyn Boy by the Wise Guys range. That's like it's some sort of Manhattan type cheesecake, all different custardy, cheesecakey, nice, delicious flavours mixed in there. But get on that stuff. That is the one.
What's your favourite juice at the moment? All day, every day.
All-day juice at the minute is what I've been vaping at the minute. This Obsession Vapors, this Fortune one. It's Danish pastry, cinnamon, cheesecakey thing. It's so nice. It tastes just like a bakery, and it makes the house smell like a bakery too, with the big clouds.
Figures, you know the score.
I've got like 3 at the moment, but at the moment I'm Bongo and Confusion, and my own last of Rhubarb and Custard.
All available at 1.2, Aerovaf, you know the score, with a hog. Mags, Keith, favourite juice at the moment.
Bongo and Dancer.
Double P and Green Dog's Strawberry Cheesecake.
What is Double P?
It's pineapple and peach.
By Let's Vape.
Let's Vape, it's very nice.
And
If you notice, Keith gets all these exclusives from Let's Vape.
I've got vanilla as well that Ed sent me this week. I've not tried that yet. Vanilla. It's a vanilla Coke.
Ooh, I might have to give that one a
That sounds so nice.
It smells very nice. I'm letting it steep for a while. But the Double P is absolutely really nice.
And you, Guy?
Mine, it's got to be. At the moment, it is Ruthless Fluorocane. Can't get enough of it. All available at Red Hot Vaping.
What's the Fluorocane flavour profile?
Yeah, just to let you know, there is other vaping outlets out there to buy stock. Not just Red Hot Vaping. There is other vaping outlets out there.
There's no other vendors. It's all just Red Hot Vaping.
When Mike and Kerry decide to give me a paycheck, we can support them 100%, but there is other vending.
Anyone else got any questions? Or we can,
Well,
I think we're going to finally wrap up and hit out for the night. Once again, this has been very informative rather than just shits and giggles this time round. Lots of stuff we've discussed, you know, to the point of it. Let's carry on vaping. Let's get everybody on this vaping tip. You know, let's support as much as we can, as much vendors as we can. I know we always shout out RHV, but everybody, still you have your own vendors out there that you can get stuff from. We all love the vendors we do go to. We just need to support as much as we can. Green Dog, Red Heart, you know, there's loads of places out there, just not just in the Midlands, but these are obviously the places we do support on a regular basis. But let's just keep this vaping community going. Once again, bigtomtvc@gmail.com if you want to see the big dog, the self, the Big Tom, and the rest of the crew come to your meet. We will come through, because we do want to obviously get through to different communities and put the word out for vaping, not just initially just for one thing. We just want to get it out for everything. And that's us for this week, guys. Hopefully we might be back next week or the week after. These are obviously just sprung up things we do, and we just like to discuss and have shits and giggles and talk. Want to give a shout out to thank you for Andy for coming, Claire, Guy, Josh, Mags and Papa K, and obviously my beautiful woman, of course. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching and supporting us. We do love this. We do appreciate it. We do really enjoy it. You know, go subscribe, go like the channel, go like the page. You know, we are here as a community. We will help you regardless, and we are here for the shits and giggles.
And there's also the Morgantium
Guy, final thoughts?
Reviews.
Final thoughts. It's a bit like Jay Springer, isn't it? My final thoughts today. Well, since it was my birthday yesterday, my final thought is just to get Caterpillar's arse. Just.
On that note, we will sign out eating the caterpillar's ass.
Hold on. Now this obviously this Google Hangout chat thing. Are we going to do it weekly? Is it going to be a weekly instalment of seeing your beautiful big round head?
Once again, this is not down to me. This is not down to us in the crew. This is down to people wanting to watch us talk shit. Because we do this regardless of it being recorded and people watching us. So if you want to see more of this, as Guy is saying, if you want to see this on a weekly basis, on every 2 weeks, please let us know, because we do need feedback. You know, there is people watching at the minute who aren't giving us questions, who are still watching and still wanting to watch us. We want your feedback. So if you are on the group, on Facebook, Big Tom and the Vaping Crew, hit us up on the Facebook. You've got my email address now. You've got everything that you need to. Please, guys, give us some feedback. Even if you've got negative feedback, we can obviously always we can look at that and see what we can do regarding what you want as a viewer. So, once again, that's it. It's up to the viewers.
Get your cities and activities in. Let's do this Gloucestershire cheese run.
Let's all the cheese rolling. Okay,
boy.
I'm not doing cheese rolling.
I want to chase a piece of cheese down a hill.
I'm not doing roly-polies.
No, we just push Tom down the hill and chase him.
Or if anybody out there in internet land wishes to sponsor us for a Big Tom and the Vaping Crew joust, we've got horses. We just need a suit of armour.
Or 3. And some jousts.
And some joust, yeah.
And some carrots on a stick to make the horses go quicker.
But, you know, if anyone's next Vape meet or whatever, we want to do a joust.
Even if it's just a couple of dustbins with holes cut in and a few BMXs and a fucking cardboard stick, we will joust.
Oh, that time.
Can't say better than that.
So on that note, guys, please give us your feedback. Please let us know what you want to know from us, guys. You know, we do love getting your feedback. Especially the feedback that's decent. You know, if it's negative, please come with something negative. And just to let you know, absolutely, that is for somebody who sent me a message. I will say absolutely all the time. So we're gonna sign out. I'll let you guys know after what I meant there, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.
Absolutely.
Everybody, and see you soon. Love you lots.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.